Teaching your dog to walk nicely on a loose leash and taking your dog for a walk are two very different things when it comes to dog training. And sometimes in our haste to get out and take our dogs for a walk, we find we're in a position where our dogs are pulling. In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 more tips that are going to help make a difference and prevent your dog from pulling. I'm Steve, this is Hank. Whew. Welcome back to McCann Dogs. Here at McCann Dogs, we've helped well over 100,000 dog owners overcome the same training challenges that you have with your dog. If this is your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button so I can help you to have a well-behaved, 4-legged family member. We've talked about a couple of different walking styles in some of our other videos, and you'll notice in this particular video, I'm going to focus on a more formal or controlled walking position with Hank, and that's going to be at my left-hand side. It's important with young, busy dogs that we give them a clear expectation that's not only easy for them to understand, but easy for you to work towards. Teaching my dog that walking at my left-hand side is valuable, teaching them how to move there, and teaching them that there's a reward structure in that can really help in those initial stages. Where you decide to take your dog for a walk, or teach them to walk more importantly, is really important. Picking quieter locations where there are less distractions can help set your dog up for success. It's important that we really try and take advantage of those quiet locations so that our dogs are right more often than not. I don't want to have my dog overfaced and put them in a situation where they can't possibly focus. I need to pick those quiet locations to start. Now, have a look around me. We are in a big empty field, and this goes back to teaching my dog to walk nicely on a loose leash. I need to pick environments where I know my dog can be successful at first. Now, of course, the better he gets. I can go into more urban environments and busy settings, but even if you find a park or someplace where there's less distractions, less people, less things off the bat, I can get my dog a pretty solid foundation. So the next thing we really need to talk about is the use of your voice. And I can tell you that most people really underestimate the value of their voice to their dog, okay? When I talk to my dogs, I want them to know that that's fun. I want them to know that good things happen. And it's important that while I'm doing that, I'm actually paying attention to them. If I'm taking my dog for a walk and trying to teach them, I can't be talking to the person next to me or searching around on my phone. I need to be engaged with my dog. That voice and that praise is a really valuable reward. And it's the thing that's going to help bridge the gap between our treats and between all the other rewards that we're going to use. You know, we want to use food to teach our dogs, but we don't want to be dependent on it. So using your voice in the early stages can help really get your dogs that solid foundation and knowing that you're valuable and interesting to them. Hi. One of the things that we find happens in class, oftentimes when people are teaching their dogs to walk, is that because they're so focused on using their voice and using that reward and getting those dogs moving, is they tend to slow down. They tend to walk slower. A good purposeful pace can really help keep your dogs focused and attention on you. The slower you go, the easier it is for them to get distracted by all the things on the ground, that leaf, that ant, or that other thing that's happened to go by. Good, yes, good. If I slow down, let's go. Easy. Good boy. Excellent. He has more time to sniff the ground. He has more time to look at all the things. Let's go, bud. Let's go. Excellent. No, he had a little sniff there, so I'm going to turn directions and go the other way, keeping up that nice quick pace. Yes, let's go. Set. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, good boy. Well, what a good puppy dog. And you can see with this increased speed, he's now paying much more attention to me. Excellent. Let's go. Good job, buddy. Let's go. Catch, catch, catch. Yes, good boy. Hooray. And that quicker speed allows him to get a little less distracted. Good boy, buddy. Excellent work. Those 2 points that I just talked about, the idea of your voice and your pace, are really important. Now, if you have one of those dogs that's nose is glued to the ground the entire time you're walking, Beagle owners, I'm talking to you, you need to look at those 2 things and implement those into your walking training right now. One of the biggest things that can help you with teaching your dog to walk is trying to be as proactive as possible. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, being proactive means trying to identify the things that are going to distract your dog before they actually distract your dog. And that can be a tough challenge, but anytime I'm out with a young dog, my head is on a swivel, knowing what's going to approach and what could possibly distract my dog. Now, when my dog does get distracted, it's important that I make some changes to help my dog be successful. And that may be one of a couple of things. That may be simply turning and heading the other direction. Maybe changing direction and making space from that distraction can really help my dog get refocused. Continuing towards that distraction is not going to do anything other than keep that dog a little bit overstimulated. But the more my dog understands to follow my pace and my direction, the more my dog will understand to walk with me. And that all comes from doing it at a distance first. Now, let's face it, that's great to say that we can predict every distraction that's going to come around us, but that's not real life. Things are going to surprise you. Things are going to come out of nowhere. People are going to want to stop and say hi to your dog. And there are a few things that you can do to help your dog in that moment. Of course, one is still going to be turning and moving away from that distraction. But sometimes it might be just pausing for a second and having your dog sit, getting their brain a little bit more reconnected in their head, giving them a stable position to work from, and giving them something that you can reward for. Oftentimes we react because the dog jumps on a person or starts to pull a leash towards a person. But if I teach my dog to sit at my side, I give them something where they can be right, that I can reward. Again, we're reacting to the situation, but I'm being proactive by teaching my dog what to do instead. Right now I'm teaching Hank that sitting at my side means good things are going to happen, and I'm giving that opportunity on a loose leash, and I can use that during my walking if my dog happens to get overfaced. Let's say I'm walking down the sidewalk and something's coming closer and closer and closer, and I know in that situation there's no way my dog is going to do anything other than pull to get to that distraction. I'm going to try and just make a little bit of space, give my dog another job to do, give them an opportunity to be right on a loose leash, and then reward generously when he does those things that I want. Now I want to take a second to highlight what's happening right now. I've just done a little bit of work with Hank. Hey buddy, up here. And when I got his leash in my hands about 5 minutes ago, he was pretty much like a bee on a string. Good boy, good. Now, through the use of some clear direction with him, yes, excellent job, and some great reward, but really showing him what I want in every second, excellent job. Not letting him make the decisions. He's starting to go, okay, that person is somebody that's worth paying attention to, that's worth listening to, and has value to me. He understands now, oh man, this person's kind of fun, and I want to listen to this person. When you're out walking, it's inevitable that people are going to want to come up and pet your puppy. Let's face it, everybody loves a cute puppy and everybody wants to pet your puppy. And those can create some very tough challenges for that dog, teaching them how to greet people politely. Now, you've got two options, and oftentimes I've said, no thanks, you can't pet my dog, but I also feel a little bad because I want people to pet my dog, and I also want my dog to learn how to greet people. But I've found maybe asking that person to help me with my training of the puppy and directing them on what to do can really satisfy both parties. One, I set my dog up for success and I teach them how to greet people. Secondly, they get to pet my cute puppy and they feel leaving happy. So what would that look like to coach a stranger that you've never met before? Well, come on inside, I'll look at a video and we'll show you. So for this exercise, you're gonna need you, your dog, and a random stranger. So in this clip, I had Ken help me with Hank. I had Hank sitting at my side and I had Ken wanting to come in and pet Hank. So what I did was give him specific instructions, and I'm going to talk you through the exact instructions that I gave him as they were happening. So first things first, I'm going to get Hank placed in my side with my leash. So I'm going to bring him in and I'm going to ask that person to just back up a second. And I'm going to put slack back in the leash and I'm going to praise Hank. And then I might invite that person a little closer. But if Hank gets up, I'm going to place him right back in and I'm going to encourage that person away. Now again, you'll notice I'm putting slack right back in the leash. Then I could ask that person to come in again. Yes, Hank's committing to the sit so that person can come a little closer. Now Ken touches him and Hank gets up. No big deal. I just encourage Ken to go back, place my dog in a sit, and give him another chance. And this time I actually asked Ken to come to the side. And you'll notice that Hank got overexcited, jumped a little bit. No big deal. Now I'm just going to pause that right there. It's important that when your dog makes a decision like that, and let's say it jumps, I address the jumping, but I'm not mad at the dog. I'm simply going to put the dog back in the sit, encourage that person to move away again, and then that person can reapproach. So Hank jumped, I told him off, placed him back in the sit, asked Ken to move away, and I asked him to come into the side this time to make it a little bit less overbearing or exciting to Ken or to Hank at that moment. And you'll notice this time when he comes in, I'm actually talking to Hank a little bit more, rewarding more often, and Ken can get a little teeny pet and then off he can go. And that's the best way to get your dog set up for that type of situation. Now I've just given you 5 more points to help prevent your dog from pulling on leash. And if you haven't seen our first video to help prevent your dog from pulling on leash, click that card right there. Teaching your dog to walk nicely on a loose leash is something that we focus a lot on in our Life Skills online dog training program. And that's a program where you get direct access to instructors like me to help you to have a well-behaved 4-legged family member. Now, if you're interested in joining us in our online training, click that link in the description below. With that, I'm Steve. This is Skye. Happy training.